Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. If you watch this channel, you'll know that my main purpose and goal of starting this channel is to get people in the group that actually make money. Because unfortunately, over 90% of everyone invests in crypto lose money, and my goal is to change that. And it's videos like this that will give you the alpha and the information you need to get a real good game plan and capitalize on what I think's coming down the pipe. Now, a lot of people have been screaming that it's altcoin season pretty much for 3 years on and off, and they've been screaming it all last month. Well, I haven't been in that camp, and I'm still not in that camp. I do not believe it's altcoin season, but it's coming. I truly believe that. But I also believe this altcoin season and this whole cycle is different. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to give you some alpha that's really going to help you make informed decisions and whether you should take profits or when you should take profits or whatever. I really believe this is an important video because this whole cycle has been different than other cycles. Heck, Bitcoin made a new all-time high before the halving. Everything ripped before Ethereum even started moving. And now we are getting way into the altcoin season, and we haven't even had any of the pumps that they saw during, say, 2021. Their smallest pump was bigger than our biggest pump. So I don't think there's any argument that this cycle's different. So hit the like button and let's dive into what I think the next couple of months and the rest of the cycle is going to look like. And I really believe it has merit. All right. So right now, the stock market is down. That has me concerned. We just had a lot of negative numbers come out, and it basically showed the world, definitely showed Wall Street, that we need rate cuts, but we also have higher inflation. It's not a good combination. And that's why a lot of Wall Street is taking profits today, probably tomorrow, maybe all through this week. I really don't know. But I think that will pass. Now they're talking about, I think the Fed meeting is in like 12 days. So we could get one rate cut like 25 basis points. I don't think that would be positive at all. But again, if we get two basis point cuts or 50, two 25% cuts, um, we're going to really be in trouble because that tells Wall Street that the economy is so bad, we had to push it forward. So here's what I think, and we're going to get into it, and I'm going to go through some charts that are really going to help you understand why I think this way. But I believe that we may pick up the pace throughout this week with altcoins and maybe even the stock market. But when we get those rate cuts, it's probably going to be a sell the news event. That being said, when the news first comes out, the stock market will probably rip, and so will altcoins and everything else. For me, I'll have to play it out, but for me, I'm planning on taking profits and start shorting because I believe it's going to be a sell the news event. So, in the rest of this video, we're going to talk about when altcoin season's coming and what it's going to look like. So, did I say hit that like button? Hit that like button. All right, guys, let me show you some charts. And if nothing else, it'll get you thinking. And you need to think about this stuff because, one thing that disappoints me about crypto and the influencers is they just sell hope and hype, misinformation. They just want you, give you that confirmation bias. Please tell me I bought the right token. Please tell me I'm getting a Lambo. But when someone tries to tell them, you might not be getting a Lambo, but hey, maybe you can get a couple of payments or something like that. People don't want to hear it. But you need to hear this out, guys. This is a lot of alpha. All right, let's look at total three. Now, total three are pretty much the altcoins without Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, think about this, guys. Think about the lack of pumps that we have had in this entire cycle. But we are at a new all-time high for market cap. Now that reminds me of projects with tokenomics. So we're going to circle back at the end of this video, guys, and that's the best alpha I can offer anyone. Now, you may not disagree with me, but I think it has merit. And when it comes to taking profits and win, you probably want to at least hear me out if you're serious about your money. Because if you think about it, this is the height of the boom in 2021 when people had made life-changing gains. We've surpassed that. We've actually surpassed it twice. We haven't even gotten close to getting life-changing gains for 99% of the projects. And most people need a 2, 3, 4, 5x to get their money back. All right, so hear me out. Now let's look at Bitcoin dominance right now. This is a perfect example of what we need to talk about. Now, Bitcoin dominance has basically ripped this entire cycle. But then in the election, we got this pullback. Now, this has me concerned, and you need to hear me out, in my opinion. All right, look at this move. We know, like the Dino tokens, they did like 5, 6X's, all of them, right? That was probably the best month and a half we had, right? Well, now look, Bitcoin dominance, everybody tells us when Bitcoin dominance falls apart, everything rips. Look at this. This is a bigger move down, a substantial bigger move down than we got in November, but we're not really barely bouncing off the bottom when you compare altcoins against Bitcoin and when you compare it against Ethereum. So look at this, guys. We're like, wow, Bitcoin dominance is dropping like a rock. It's altcoin season. And then you go back and look at total 3 against Bitcoin. Guys, the odds are, in my opinion, we are probably going to go back down. And like Ben Cowan said, we're going to go home against Bitcoin. Now, we've already, there's a chance that we don't go any lower, that the bottom's in. But this is where the bottom is of the so-called going home against Bitcoin from 2021. Now, the reason I give that so much merit is, Ben Cowan did multiple videos talking about Ethereum is not going to make a new all-time high, especially against Bitcoin, until it goes home. And I didn't even understand what he was saying, but he was basically saying it has to go to the lows of the cycle, which is the lows of the other cycles. And he nailed it. He nailed it. So now he's saying the same thing. Now, but right now, Ethereum is starting to take the lead against Bitcoin. But look at this, guys. If you compare total 3 to the altcoins, guys, we haven't done anything. I mean, anything since Ethereum has started pumping, right? Now, let's get back to my extreme point. Because, I've made multiple videos, and I wish someone would have told me when I first got into crypto that 90% of all tokens don't hit a new all-time high in their second bull run. And if you analyze why, it's because they are not set up for us to make money. If we're smart enough to ride with them and take profits at the right times, we can do very well. But most projects have bad tokenomics that favor the founders and the companies, the developers, the VCs, the early developers, period. So when they come out with a hot project, no matter how good it is, they just become multimillionaires, if not billionaires, from dumping their obnoxious supply. Well, that reminds me of this chart, right? I believe we are going to go higher, but we're already setting new all-time highs for market caps. But if there wasn't so many diluted projects with bad tokenomics extracting and eating up all the air in the room, we would have already had 20X's across the board, just like 2021, and even more so in 2018. Now, I'm going to talk about Hedera, but this is just an example. of what I'm trying to tell everyone. And bear with me, because when it comes to taking profits, that's going to dictate, how you do in this bull run. When you bought it, it's already happened. When you take profits dictates whether you get a 2x, a 5x, or a 20x. If that happens, if you don't take those profits, you're going to ride this market into another cycle. And you do not want to hold, something that maybe, even if it was a project that you turned 10 into 30, you don't want to ride that back down to 3,000 and hold it for 5 years. The opportunity cost will kill you. Now, here's some positive alpha. Guys, for the people that have made money in this cycle and have dry powder, instead of hodling and hoping, there's going to be tokenized assets. There's going to be countless IPOs on Wall Street like Circle and Coinbase were, and Build, that are making, 3, 4, 5, 6 X's. That's going to continue. So there's going to be an immense amount of opportunity if you have the profits. Now, look at this. This is what I think. This is a metaphor. Forget it's Hedera. Look at this chart. This chart basically represents what we've seen. It's a little bit more extreme, which, not to cut down Hedera. And I made a video, I'll pin at the end, talking about Hedera. I love Hedera, but the tokenomics are not set up for you to make life-changing gains. Either as XRP or XLM or IOTA or any of those. Watch that video. But look at this, guys. If this is the market cap last year, and this is the market cap now, right? Which again, this is a little extreme. Why are we not having bigger gains? Because there's more projects, and not only are there more projects, they have bad tokenomics. So the founders, the companies, the creators, the developers, the insiders, the VCs are extracting all this money. Those are profits we're not going to get. Now, let's look. Here's the price. See, look at the difference between the market cap of Hedera, which is ironically kind of the market cap of altcoins across the board, and look at the price. Do you see where I'm going with that? So the point being is, even if we double the market cap of 2021, there's 4 million projects growing every day. And then there's the other older projects that have massive market caps, and there's new projects like Hype and Sui have big market caps. So we are not going to get that 20x pump across the board. No ifs and buts about it. The odds are, most of the people, if you bought a token at its high of this bull run, you'll be lucky to get your money back. You're not going to 5x from where you bought it a year and a half ago. The people that bought the Dino tokens at the election highs, good luck. You're probably not getting your money back. So the point about that is, in my opinion, the best case scenario that we have coming is the money rotation, because then more tokens can pump higher, but not all of them. So I'm just going to make this part up as far as what happens. Bitcoin keeps pumping, right? Ethereum keeps pumping. Altcoin season gets here, and then they go down and altcoin season gets here. The money rolls into Solana, Hyperliquid, Sui, S&P 6900. Some of the projects that have done extremely well, right? The new projects, and it's their first bull run. They may get it. Now, the big money may roll in, say, into Solana next, into Sui after that, into Avalanche after that, whatever. And if you take profits at the right time, when it rolls around to gaming and ROWA, you need to be taking profits. But it could just be a thing where Bitcoin kind of pulls back, Ethereum kind of pulls back because they both have a spot ETF. Then Solana gets a spot ETF, XRP gets a spot ETF. Whoever gets a spot ETF, that takes up more money, and the odds are there's not going to be that crazy money that we think across the board. I still believe in the rotation, like for instance, gaming, but I really don't believe there's a lot of 15, 20, 25x projects, period. And across the board, if we get a 3.5x from here across the board for, say, the top 1,000 tokens, we'd be doing well. So just something to think about, guys, when altcoin season gets here. You know, one thing I've noticed is a lot of influencers that have been calling for some crazy numbers have already proved themselves that that's not going to happen. So what are they doing? They're not going to tell you, well, I guess I was wrong. They're going to extend the time. Oh, now it's extended bull run. The cycles don't mean anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. And when this cycle is over, for me, no matter what, it's January 1. And I will be out 75% minimum, whether I'm right or wrong. Now, I'll still play the game, and I can't wait to start shorting when altcoin season is over. Now, that being said, guys, if you want to learn how to short or you need some help getting a game plan, because it's go time, I've got a portfolio course that we go through your portfolio, take a look at it, answer any question you have, get you a plan to take profits or whatever your plan is that fits your needs and wants and risk tolerance. But guys, I think I had the best shorting course I've ever seen. You know, I used to sit at some of the biggest guys on Wall Street's desk, some of these hedge funds. I watch how they manipulate the market, and I go against pretty much everything you're ever going to see. Most people show you TA and technical analysis showing that, oh, well, this is going to happen and sell it here. No, guys, you short the pumps. You don't short the collapses. Once it collapses, the smart money is taking profits. If you want to learn that, guys, my course is 13 videos, comes with a Zoom call. It's only $250, and you get 5 months of my inner circle. So you basically get the course free or the inner circle free because they're both $250 value on sale. Now, also, guys, if you want to just sign up for the inner circle, you can do that, but it doesn't make sense to me when you can get a course and a Zoom call for just the price of 5 months of the inner circle. Anyway, guys, no matter what, do yourself a favor, whether you listen to me or not, and I'll leave the links down below. Just send me an email. Take profits or become the profits, and stop listening to these people that are just giving you the confirmation bias. If you're okay with being wrong and doing a loop for 5 years, hey, have at it. But guys, I'm here to tell you, sell your altcoins in this cycle, never sell your Bitcoin, and get a game plan for the next cycle. That's always been my plan. And if you don't take profits, guys, you're going to become the profits. And remember, when you're surfing around and everyone's bullish, everyone's telling you something, 9 out of 10, 90 out of 100, 900 out of 1,000 people are going to lose money. So remember that when you just keep hearing the same positive statement, and then look at who's saying it. They're just, reading it's like watching CNN. They just read the headlines and then they go spread the misinformation. That's crypto in a nutshell. And I say that with love, but I'm here for the 10% that want to make money. I'm extremely bullish, but I'm not unrealistic of what we're dealing with. The big boys are here, and they've been extracting money from the retail this entire cycle. I don't think retail is coming back in a big way like we thought. Think about retail that came back with the Dino tokens at the election. They came back because they probably lost money in the last cycle or the one before that. They bought HBAR, XLM, XRP at the highs, and now they're sitting there going, what in the heck? I'm already getting wrecked again. So anyway, guys, there's no life-changing gains at these prices for the tokens that have already pumped, that are older, in my opinion. The new projects that have never experienced a bull run, they're in uncharted territory. They could keep ripping. And for me, the number one projects that I am stacking for the rest of this bull run are primarily the proven tokens and like, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I've already stacked my Ethereum. I'm just going to be selling from here. I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin. I will be selling my Solana, but the bags I'm going to be stacking for the remainder are the ones like Hype that make a ton of money. There's only a handful of projects that make money, and I personally believe if no matter how much utility a project has, if it doesn't make money to feed ecosystems, and if it doesn't have that adoption inside its ecosystem, why would you build on it? Why would it have a huge value? And guys, the best money, in my opinion, is going to come when this cycle's over and projects with bad tokenomics, which is about 98% of them, I'm going to make a list of the ones that have the worst because they're going to keep dumping and there's no one there to be buying and they're going to fall like a rock. I truly believe that's the best and easy and most consistent way to make money in crypto. Not financial advice. I'm going to stop rambling. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And guys, come back and be part of this community because if I can help it, we're going to get you in that 10% club. And it's go time, guys. It's time to pay attention. Time to stop listening to biased people. Find, 5 people that tell you the truth, tell you the downside, and it's going to help you a lot. And guys, again, I'm going to let you go, but if the majority were right, the majority would be rich. And that's why people lose money in crypto. They just follow the herd. All right, guys, that's all I got. Take care.